Flagrant family, what is going on to all you beautiful people? It's been a minute. I know I was MIA for a bit, but now I'm back better than ever. Feeling good, feeling great, back with the squad. But as always, we appreciate your continued support of the podcast. I know we've been a little iffy the past few weeks, but life hits you, life hits you. So we have a lot to dive into with that being said. A lot to indulge into. We got a bunch of hot takes coming, a bunch of hot trades coming in, and a lot of future to talk about. So let's have Edge start us off, man.
All right. So, yeah, we're just going to be talking about the trade deadline, all the moves, the buyout moves. Mo's going to break down the specifics. But before we even get to that, I just want everyone's – you don't need an explanation. Everyone's best and worst trade.
That's tough. In my opinion, I think this is not the most differential trade, but I think they paid nothing. Evan Fournier for 2 seconds. That's a steal in my opinion.
Yeah.
They didn't pay anything.
What's your worst? I feel like we're all going to have the same worst.
That's tough, dude.
It'd have to be the Oladipo trade.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it was really good for the Heat, but in terms of, actual, trade material, that was the most dog shit thing I've ever
For
seen.
Houston, they got robbed.
I want to get into that later in the show, but,
Yeah,
Not gonna lie, that was my best trade.
How that affects this. That's just wild, dude.
In terms of the Heat, that's the best trade, Hanuk. I feel you, but, what Houston was doing?
That was a robbery of a trade, in my opinion.
No, it definitely was.
It's like the gas station clerk said, "Hey, please rob me." Gave him the gun to rob him.
Say, give him the mask, give him the gun, just do it already.
He turned off the security cam himself.
For me, I think the best trade is either I like the Oladipo trade for some reason. I don't like it for the Houston Rockets, but I like it for the Heat. And then I like the Vucevic trade, obviously.
Of course.
So it'd have to
The
be
worst, probably the most pointless trade. Trying to think of one. I just think the Fournier trade was literally the most pointless thing I've ever seen.
I would kind of agree. I guess they got another forward they don't really need, but,
Like if they would trade for a big man. Or no, the Daniel Thesis trade. Thesis, whatever his name is.
Hey, bro, that's a good pick.
Daniel Trash can at me.
That's a good pickup, bro.
I still don't like him after what he did the first pick a month. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this might be a little bit different, but I kind of just want to say something different. I want to say Aaron Gordon to Denver. I thought that was a pretty good trade. I don't really think they gave up too much for him, to be honest. Yeah, Gary Harris, you got plenty of people on your team, and to get someone of Aaron Gordon's caliber who doesn't have to create for his own buckets now, I think that's very good for Denver. And then the worst, I'm gonna say probably Evan Fournier, because Boston had a chance to go for a different Magic player that fills a spot they need. They were like, nah. Let's take another guard and just add him to the list. And you couldn't even get Drummond. You couldn't get any centers. It's just I don't like that deal for them. Yeah, it adds more depth, but you had a clear spot you needed help on, and you didn't address it.
Hey, they got Mo Wagner.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice.
All right, that's everyone's best and worst trades. Now, Mo, break down the exact pieces that got moved for us for our first trade.
All right, for our first trade, we're going to be talking about probably the biggest trade in the trade deadline. Nikola Vucevic coming to Chicago, man. Us being Bulls fans, not my favorite team, but, Bulls fans, we love it. Evan to make a weird face, but you know him. So the trade goes on like this. The Chicago Bulls get Nikola Vucevic and Al-Farouq Aminu, while the Orlando Magic get Wendell Carter Jr., Otto Porter Jr., and 2 first-round picks. What do you guys think?
I don't like how much they gave up for Vucevic, but at the end of the day, I see why. I don't like Wendell and also 2 first-rounders. I just don't like. I'm obsessed with it.
I'm going to rebuttal against that because I feel like I've watched a lot of Bulls games and I see red, baby. But Wendell Carter is not the way we were trying to facilitate his abilities. It wouldn't fit in our system. Otto Porter sits out games because his shoelace is tied the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't care.
I used to enjoy watching Otto Porter, but he can't stay healthy to save his life. And we got Vooch, big Vooch, who's tore me up in fantasy last week, which is why I lost. Like we've traded 2 nobodies for an all-star and 2 picks that we're probably not going to even need anymore.
Yeah, man. I think, like David said, I like Wendell. I really think he has potential, but and honestly,
I like
I
Wendell.
more than Kobe White, but like David said, we got big Vooch, like that. Dude, we have 2 all-stars now. There's like, I think that puts us over teams like the Pacers and Hawks. Maybe I'm a little biased, but dude, and I keep seeing this thing like all the Bulls fans on YouTube. This is a big market move. Like, dude, Chicago's a big market, and we act like a small market team. We finally have 2 all-stars, and this is an attractive market, man. Some like pissed off star could request a trade in Chicago. It's a big market, so I like that.
Well, Kobe did like a couple years back. Like years, I mean like 15. But yeah. I feel like with the Bulls, they could have capitalized more on the trade deadline, but they did pretty well.
So in your opinion, Hanok, do you think the Magic got a dub from this trade since you think the Bulls get up too much?
I don't think they got a dub. Their starting lineup's still atrocious, but
I think they're actually like rebuilding now rather than being mediocre. So if they're going in rebuilding mode, is this a good package for Vucevic, in your opinion?
see, I don't know how much the first I don't know how much like the first round picks are gonna be valued. Like if the
Like
Bulls become a contender, then
There's protections on them. I know one of them is top 4 protected. If it falls in the first top 4, it goes to the Bulls. If not, it falls to Orlando.
I don't think the Bulls are gonna I don't think the
They're
Bulls.
not going to finish bottom 4. There's no way.
Yeah, I think the
Yeah,
Bulls.
You know who's like a big loser of this? Mobamba, dude. Like, damn.
Oh yeah, I did that for him. He never got a spot.
Actually, he'll get more playing time now for sure since Vooch is gone, but still. Like,
Would he
man.
not start at center? Or do we have Wendell? Oh yeah, Wendell. I forgot.
No.
Then who's their starting 4?
They made a lot of moves. I don't know.
Oh,
Some
I
guy
think-
from
I
LA
thought-
Fitness, probably.
Huh?
Some guy from LA Fitness, probably.
We'll have Mo.
damn, the Magic are
They gave
finally back.
up their rotational power forward for a washing machine.
All right.
I saw this meme on Instagram. It was like the exact definition of an AC, and it was a picture of like the Orlando Magic. Like they're just at least they finally committed to rebuilding. You know.
Yeah, no, the Magic are always that weird team that'll go off for one game as an 8th seed in the playoffs and then get spanked every other game.
I'm like DJ Augustine, aren't you?
DJ
Augustine wins 1 or 2
game
games in the
goat.
Magic, and that's it.
The game 1 GOAT.
Hmm.
You
All
got
right,
anything
Mo,
to say about this trade, or do you want to move on to the next one?
I'm good.
What was that?
Next trade, boys, or you got anything else to
I
say?
think we're good here. I think
Yeah.
Bulls
Mm.
won.
Bulls
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
trade.
That's not how.
There'll be another pretty one-sided opinion here, but probably the second biggest trade, the Oladipo trade. Miami Heat get Victor Oladipo, and the Rockets get Kelly Olynyk, Avery Bradley, and a pick swap.
That was a wrong.
Oh my God. Can I just say, Pat Riley is such a genius. Like, Pat Riley is such a mastermind when it comes to these kind of trades. He knew that Houston needed to get rid of Oladipo because they knew there was no way in hell that he's re-signing in Houston. And they want to get something from him, obviously. And they were asking Miami for Duncan Robinson, potentially Tyler Hero. But Miami waited till the very last minute. So that way they could give up the least amount possible for him. And it's likely Oladipo's going to re-sign.
Yeah, most likely.
That was absolute genius move.
This is my question, dude. Like, okay, they must have really respected Oladipo's request to Miami because you're telling me no other team like had a better offer.
I don't think a lot of other
I mean,
teams did. I think.
Oladipo had 1 more year on his contract. What team wants to take that on?
I don't know,
honestly, I really don't think anyone else wanted Oladipo.
really.
I don't think so. And it's not because he's a bad player. It's like what Mo said. He's got a year on his contract. You don't know if he's going to re-sign. You know he's likely looking towards Miami. So do you really want to take that risk and potentially give up something that you could use for your future?
And also, most contending teams already have like all-star caliber. Holy shit, guards.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. That's terrible, dude. Houston, that's bad. That's a bad one.
And to
Bad.
think, oh my God, to think they could have had Ben Simmons right now.
Dude, I was just about to say that they could have had Ben Simmons. They said no. They have Kelly Olynyk and Avery Bradley because they wanted Tyrese Maxey. They could have had Ben Simmons, but instead they have Kelly Olynyk and Avery Bradley.
I mean, for God's sake, they could have just taken Karis LeVert and it would have been better.
How many picks did they get?
I think that's
They-
7 in total, but
They have 7.
next 6 years, that's all for the Nets. All for the Nets, by the way. So if the Nets are good for the next 6 years, which they
The
might,
Nets are good. The Nets are
They're
good.
gonna be-
that's if the Stars resign.
If it's 2014 all over again, I swear to God,
It's possible. It's very possible.
it is very possible.
We could be looking back on this in 7 years and being saying, "Damn, the Rocks are geniuses," or we're saying, "Damn, the Rocks are retards." But
I don't think we're going to say they're geniuses.
Yeah. So, which version of Oladipo in this Heat system do you think we're going to see?
I honestly feel like Victor Oladipo fills the void that was left when Jay Crowder didn't resign. That defensive guy who's able to score on his own. Obviously, he's a bit better than Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder's more of like a key starter, like a rotational starter. But they'll use him as that guy who can guard the secondary ball handler, be able to stick with him, and be able to get a bucket when Jimmy Butler or Bam Adebayo can't.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think that's a very factual statement, David. Very smart of you.
I have the intellect of Albert Einstein if he was Mexican.
Christ.
So, okay, Oladipo's the third option, though, right?
yeah, of
I'd
course.
say
Is there
without a doubt.
AIDS? Oh yeah, you're right.
Forget the All-Star center.
I forgot Bam existed.
Dude, come on, Bam's nasty.
It
Bam
really
is extremely good.
Okay, so I want everyone to say where they had, like, how far they had the Heat going and how far they have now. Like, it could be the same. Nothing might have changed.
I had Heat going second round. Now I have them conference finals.
Really?
Yeah, I think I was talking to my friends about this the other day. For me, it's either the Nets, Heat, and maybe a dark horse 76ers or Bucks coming out the East. Because 76ers and Bucks cannot perform in the playoffs, from what I've seen. The Heat can perform.
Fair
Same with the Nets. So that's the only 2 teams I have. Those are my 2 strongest contenders.
I don't know, man. I feel like the Heat, they've sort of gotten figured out because Duncan Robinson came out of nowhere last year. That's why they were so lethal. Tyler Hero stepped up big, but now Tyler Hero's inconsistent and they're figuring out Duncan Robinson's plays. Now Giannis has Drew Holiday, which takes the load off of both Chris Middleton and Giannis. Now you have PJ Tucker on the bench being a defensive leader. You have all these new assets that came in. Then the Heat are just the same old Heat. Oh, granted, they have Oladipo now. So I feel like we'd have to progress through the season to see how Oladipo meshes with them defensively and offensively before we can say they have a chance against the Sixers or the Bucks.
I agree completely. I feel like it's going to be an interesting fit with Jimmy Butler and Oladipo, in my opinion, because in my eyes, I thought Oladipo was sort of a playmaker, and that's what Jimmy Butler kind of has become these past few years. So I'm kind of curious to see who's going to be handling the ball a lot, and who's going to be the playmaker of this team.
Probably Oladipo.
That's a good point. They're both really similar players. I never thought of that.
Yeah, Oladipo is like a shorter version of Butler.
You know,
Now-
honestly,
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead. No, Ed, go ahead, man.
Okay, I was gonna say we all have the Nets making it to the conference finals at least, right?
Yeah, no.
If
without
they're
a doubt.
healthy, 100%.
Okay, so
Oh, wow.
is Miami the biggest threat now, or is it still another team? You guys think? To Brooklyn specifically.
Brooklyn specifically, if I'm being honest, I still think it's Philadelphia because they don't
God
have
damn it.
Be honest, if you guys are looking at it, not even as a biased fan, who's stopping Embiid?
LA Blake, no playing. They have
No one's stopping Embiid. It's going to be a really good series, but I think if Embiid really shows out and Ben Simmons has a good series, I think the Sixers have it. But time will tell. Time will tell.
Sixers offense isn't as potent as the Nets.
it's not even
The
road.
Nets have in the past, I think I saw a stat like in the past 30 games, over 20 of them they've dropped 120.
Yeah, their
And in
defense.
that, they've
also
only
non-existent.
conceded. They've only conceded 3 games where the opponent dropped 120,
Is that for the
and
Nets?
they don't have all their all stars.
Yeah, but the playoff is not only just skill; it's also like chemistry and shit like that too.
Yeah, you got Kevin Durant, Kyrie, and Harden. They're each well-known all-stars who are completely capable of performing. Because think about it, each person on their respective team has had to be the clutch person on their team when they were the lone star. Like you had
Very true.
Durant in OKC,
Hey,
who
right.
was without a doubt the lone star. Granted, he had Westbrook, who was budding, and Harden, who was sixth man of the year. But Durant, he's been proven to come up in playoff time. Kyrie, you have the finals alone. You have the shot over Curry. You got Harden, who he gets his numbers. It's just that the team surrounding him was next to nothing. He's basically playing with a bunch of garbage. But Harden was always performing. Now you put that all three together, and you got a
And
solid supporting cast.
you also got LA and Blake Griffin.
Who was outscoring that? There's too many offensive weapons. Defense wins championships, but if you're scoring too much offense, defense isn't going to do shit.
They still have Dinwiddie when he comes back.
Dude, next
Nice.
year,
I don't
that's
think he's coming back this season though.
he's not
Oh,
he's coming back next year, but that's still gonna be insane.
shout out to
Um,
Claxton.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm kind of on the Miami hype train. I think Miami is they're a very scary team now. On paper, you obviously look they don't compare to the Nets, but I think Miami is just so well together that their chemistry alone just gives them a shot. I don't think many people had them beating the Bucks. And was it the
I certainly
Eastern
was
Conference?
not.
Yeah.
I know you did. I know you did.
Mo
know you
was
did,
not
but I'm
like the
saying-
one person that had him
I'm
beating.
just saying in general, I don't think anyone really gave Miami a shot last year. And not only have they kept that exact team, they just added Victor Oladipo for literally like nothing.
Pretty
I
much.
don't know, man. I really believe in this Heat team. And the Sixers, like Hanuk said, they have been proven to not be the best in the playoffs, but there's always time to change that. So I think it goes Brooklyn, Miami, and then Philly and Milwaukee are like tied for me. They're both great.
Dude, wait, who did you say, David? Yeah.
That's coming like coming in. That's
Oh no, like who's their biggest
to
threat?
combat them. I'd probably have to say the Bucks.
Bucks.
Interesting.
I agree with you, David, because like
Chicago is the biggest threat.
Yeah, I
Same
was
reason-
gonna say Chicago, but I didn't want to be that kind
Hey, until they get MPJ and Lonzo in free agency.
Who's guarding Vucevic?
They
Sorry,
should
okay, I'm sorry.
this chase, but
Yeah.
continue on it.
But like same reasons. I think Giannis would be a big problem for the Nets because like the blueprint to beat the Bucks, build a wall. Like who are they gonna build a wall with in Brooklyn? You know what I'm saying? So I think that could be a problem.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly on that.
All right, I'm going on to the next trade. The next trade is another Orlando Magic trade where they're just cleaning house, man. And this trade involves Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon gets traded to the Denver Nuggets for Gary Harris, RJ Hampton, and a future first-round pick. What are your thoughts, boys?
I think it's really good for Denver because Denver was missing that Jeremy Grant type guy they had back then. And I think Aaron Gordon fits that role and then some. That's just my opinion.
Interesting.
I feel like the Denver team, like I like the trade for Denver as well. I feel like that team would be so much more dangerous if they chose to keep Jeremy Grant.
Well, yeah,
They'd be.
they didn't
But
have
he
the
would
money.
have blossomed.
Oh, they didn't have the money. I thought
They
because
weren't gonna sign him to the money he wanted.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Thing is, even if I think they kept him, I don't think he would be as good. But
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Obviously, you wouldn't be as good.
on that Nuggets team. Now he's a first option in Detroit. That's a big difference.
Exactly.
Granted,
So
it's
I don't think
Detroit.
he would have blossomed either way if he stayed in Denver.
Yeah, it's Detroit, but he's still the first option. He wouldn't be anywhere near the first option if he stayed in Denver. He'd probably still be the same player he was last year.
Would agree. Probably slightly better, but not a big difference because he's still behind
Yeah.
Nikola Jokic. He's behind Mike Porter Jr., Jamal Murray. I guess you could say not Paul Millsap really.
No.
That's
They're like good role players on that team. They have a lot of depth.
they do have a lot of them. That's facts.
Personally, I think Aaron Gordon's a great fit because I think how they played him in Orlando was really odd, and now Aaron Gordon can kind of realm and make cuts to the basket while Nikola Jokic being his facilitator, and you know how great he is.
Wasn't Orlando playing him as like a 3 sometimes?
They
They,
were.
they played him at like 3, 4, and 5.
This is weird, man. Aaron Gordon is a perfect 4.
Yeah, my thing is, because Denver, you have MPJ, who's the 4, who's way more efficient when he's playing as the 4 because he's much quicker and more agile, and he's still the same height as all these people. But when you put him at the 3, you have people who sort of match up with him more, and his efficiency drops when he's at the 3. So that dynamic of deciding what to do with both of them, like, do you try and put Gordon at the 3 or do you try and keep Gordon at the 4?
I think MPJ probably better at the 3, especially since he's had a lot more experience playing the 3. He's proven to be much better at the 3 than Gordon. So I would probably just have Gordon at the 4.
Yeah, I think him and Jokic will make it really exciting. Like, they'll make a bunch of highlights. It'll be fun. But I think the biggest boost the Nuggets get from Aaron is his defense. I think you finally have a guy who you can put on LeBron and Kawhi. He's like, you're not going to stop him, but you can slow him down. I think that's like the best thing for them for the trade.
Yeah, Aaron Gordon's honestly a really underrated defender. No one talks about his
without a
defense,
doubt.
but he's extremely solid with defense.
Without a doubt.
I still think they're a second round exit in my opinion. But this is only because I don't think the Clippers are gonna choke again.
Okay.
If they do, then I swear to God, I'm just done with the Clippers.
I don't know. They got Rajon Rondo now, so they're going all the way.
Who?
They do have
The
playoff
Clippers?
Rondo.
Clippers.
Playoff Rondo.
Playoff Rondo's real.
Clippers are not making it past the conference finals.
Hey, man.
Wait,
I think they will, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, because the Nuggets are going all the way. Then
I'll
one
get to
man's winning the finals.
we'll put that later off why I think the Clippers are a better shot than the Lakers, but you know, still some reasons to that we're going to get into soon, very soon.
All right.
The next trade is a Raptor who actually definitely had a big step up this year. Norman Powell gets traded to Trailblazers for Gary Trent Jr. and Rodney Hood.
Robbery of a trade.
That's
That's a
It doesn't make sense.
robbery of a trade.
no. It kind of does make sense because I think Gary Trent's on an expiring contract, and I think he's going to want a lot of money this offseason. I don't think Portland wants to pay that. So the fact they got Norman Powell out of that, man, that was the Blazers won that trade. I'm sorry.
I thought the Raptors.
Oh, yeah.
Norman Powell is amazing,
I
and
thought-
Yeah.
this is coming from the guy who has him in fantasy. He's amazing, man.
My
He's
thing
good,
is,
but
Then
honestly,
he dropped 22 his first game.
it doesn't make sense to me because they got Robert Covington too, and he's a very similar player in my opinion, like great 3-and-D, and it just doesn't make sense to me. If you're playing at the backup, have
can't
more
go
off
wrong
the
with
bench.
3-and-D.
What was that?
You can't go wrong with more 3-and-D.
That's true as well. That is very true.
So what team improved more?
I think the Raptors.
No,
I have to say the
not the Raptors, the Blazers.
Wait, okay.
The Raptors got way more depth out of it.
The thing
Okay.
is,
So what was
But the thing is, Rodney Hood's great, but he's coming off an ACL tear.
That's also true, but like you guys know, they only got Norman Powell, right?
That's all they
The
got. Yeah.
Blazers, yeah.
Yeah, and they lost like Gary Trent. They lost Robert Covington, and then also
Not Robert
No, they
Covington.
didn't.
Gary
No, they
Trent.
didn't.
Gary Trent and what's his
Rodney.
name?
Rodney Hood.
Rodney
That's
Hood.
it.
Yeah, that's Gary
Gary
Trent.
Trent.
One of the
Gary
better.
Trent.
And
I
also,
think Gary Trent's just a downgraded Norman Powell.
Yeah, I
They're
was about
both
to
great
say.
3-and-D players, but if I'm taking one of those two, I'm taking Norman Powell, and it's not even close. And Rodney Hood, solid, but
Yeah, he's
don't
a
know.
shot in the dark.
Gary Trent is younger though. I mean,
I see where I'm getting at here, though, with the Raptors getting Gary Trent, because they also do have OG, who's also another 3-and-D player. So I guess they're getting a guard in this situation instead of
I
Norman
think
Powell
Raptors.
forward.
get a guard off the bench.
Yeah, that's something. It's an okay trade for both sides, but I think the Blazers get a better player. So that's why I'm saying the Blazers.
yeah,
I
I'm gonna
think-
give it to the Blazers.
My thing is, like, I still give it to the Blazers, but now they got 3 people in the starting lineup who are 6'3".
Norman Powell 6'3".
Very true.
You got
thought he was
Dame,
like
CJ,
6'7".
and Norman.
thought he was
Really
6'7".
small team. No, he's
Isn't McCollum like 6'5"?
call him 6'3".
They're
Is
calling him
he
6'3".
really?
I think he's
Really?
6'2".
Yeah,
I
he's
thought
6'.
he was taller.
Yeah, I thought he was 6'4".
He's not. It's a fight.
He might be
Every
six.
single, one,
Interesting.
every single one of them 6'3".
Damn.
Interesting.
That's a very small ball lineup.
That's
Their
not. I don't like that lineup, to be honest. But that's just my
We
opinion.
might cut Robert Covington still and have Norman come off the bench. That'll probably make a lot.
Nurkic just came back.
He did come
Yeah.
back.
Hopefully he's good.
Nurkic
Though.
just came back, yeah. So they got their starting center.
I think that, do you guys still think they're a first round exit or no?
Yeah.
I think it depends on who they get in the
And
first
they
round.
match up with.
What team do you think they can beat first round? Sorry.
I think they could beat a team like Dallas. They could beat a team.
It
I
could
think
be
it can be
Denver,
San
though.
Antonio.
I
They
don't
could
think
beat Antonio.
I don't
agree
think they
with
can
that.
beat Denver.
They
You don't
can
think they can beat
definitely
Denver?
beat
I don't think
they
San
can beat
Antonio's
Denver.
San Antonio's not making playoffs, right?
They're in the 7th seed, I think.
They're in the playoffs hunt right now, and then they kept DeRozan and they kept DeJounte Murray.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then yeah, I think they could.
They're a playoff hunt. If the Pelicans make it, I think the Blazers will beat the Pelicans too.
Yeah, okay. I can see that. They're like what? Top, what seed are they?
The Pelicans?
No, the Blazers. I'm sorry.
I think
They're like 4 or
They're
5.
Yeah.
4-5. Okay. Then yeah, maybe. You gotta just wait and see.
All right. Our next trade is going to be a 3-team trade, including the Chicago Bulls, the Washington Wizards, and Boston Celtics. Where the Bulls get Daniel Tice, Troy Brown Jr., and Javante Green, and the Wizards get Daniel Gafford and Chandler Hutchinson, and the Celtics get Mo Wagner and Luke Cornett. Who's the biggest winner of this 3-team trade?
Bulls.
Without a doubt.
Bulls.
for sure.
Who took the L, Don?
What?
Who took the L here?
Celtics.
Celtics.
Yeah, Celtics.
I don't.
Celtics suck, man. They suck.
As much as I hate this trade, as much as I hate this Daniel himself, the Bulls won this trade.
I'm just sad because I was really high on DG.
Me
I
too.
really like Gafford as a backup center. I felt like he fit it perfectly. It's just that he couldn't stay out of foul trouble the moment he entered into the game. It was like he'd do a jump ball and then already have 2 fouls.
And look, I know you don't like Daniel Tice, but he's like one of the best backup centers in the league, in my opinion.
That's true. Only reason why I like DG more is because of defense. Like Daniel defense is actually non-existent. Like you can put me in a Bulls jersey and I'm playing better defense.
He's decent, bro. He's just short. He's just small. He's like 6'8".
That's true. I don't know. It's not a big fan of him, but
But yeah,
I want to see how it works because they have 0 defense at the moment, but at the center position, front court wise.
Yeah, that's the thing I've noticed with the Bulls, man. They don't really have too many like great defenders.
They have good their guard defenders. They're fine. Like Kobe, I think, right? Kobe White's
Kobe's
decent.
not that good.
Kobe White's
Yeah, who's there? Who's there off the
Bro, how
bench?
come I know more about the Bulls than you?
Because I don't
Here's
watch
a
enough
quick
Bulls
breakdown.
games to even keep up with them anymore.
You think I do?
Okay, you keep
I'm a
up.
Cavs fan, man.
Levine's
That is true.
on ball. Thad is really good on defense.
I like
That's why
that.
A lot of teams wanted to trade for him. Gafford was good at shot blocking and contesting, but not
Wendell.
staying in the game. Wendell's dog shit.
Pat Williams. Pat Williams is good. Pat Williams is a good
Pat
defender.
Williams is good on defense.
Vucevic is pretty underrated on defense too.
Yeah, I was about to say Vucevic is a shot alter. Like the way he can alter shots, he'll make it tough on you. He's not gonna block it because he's old and his calves are giving out on him, but he's definitely gonna alter your shot.
I'm insane. That bench unit's defense is atrocious.
I just think going for the future, if the Bulls want to really start succeeding, they need to improve on defense.
I agree.
I feel
I
like they
see.
did with Troy Brown though.
Troy Brown
He's
Jr.
very underrated.
Yeah, but how big of a difference is Troy Brown really going to make for your team?
Can
That's
compare
the
to
thing.
Chandler Hutchinson, everything.
I'm just saying, like, is Troy Brown going to put you over the top? No.
Am I tweaking? Is Joy Brown a really good 3-and-D player from what I
Yeah.
He's a
Oh, he
really
is.
solid 3.
He is? Okay. For some reason I thought that was correct or wrong. But yeah. That's a good addition off the bench. I like that move.
In my opinion, I don't think the Bulls got worse in defense too, because like David said earlier, Otto Porter never played, and neither did Wendell. So just because they had good defense, they never played still. So I mean,
I mean,
you're kind of winning and losing at the same time here.
to
Let's
be
see.
fair, you guys did get Al-Farouq Aminu, and he's always been a decent defender.
He's pretty solid.
The man's been in the league since the beginning of time. I always forget about him.
Well, he's on your team now, bud.
I know. I feel like this summer, if they get a good free agent, like a defensive free agent. Doesn't even have to be a big name. Just someone that's good at defense in the front court. I feel like that would make them so much of a better team.
We
Draymond.
got Lonzo.
Let's get
Yeah, I
Draymond.
was about to say if we can get Lonzo in the offseason.
Not even just a guard. Alonzo and a big man, perfect free agency. Literally, that's all they need. And they're contending, in my
Did you just say
opinion.
Lonzo at big man?
No, Alonzo and a big man.
Okay.
They got Vooch, and we got Lowry and Thad.
I'm talking about off the bench, like a small name, like a role player.
They need more wing defenders. That's what they need.
Mm-hmm.
Have a decent amount now, right?
Read it.
Honestly, I just think we need Patrick Williams to develop, and we need Troy Brown to start like getting more shine. Because on the Wizards, they didn't know what they were doing over there.
Yeah.
I also had a question for you Bulls fans real quick. How has Denzel Valentine been playing lately?
David.
I mean, like sometimes he's really streaky. He's like the most streaky offensive threat I've ever seen. Like he'll hit 2 threes and then go 2 for 9. And then there'll be some games where he drops 16 or 17 on like.
Now, here's my follow-up question. Do you think he'd be a lot better if he wasn't spending so much time on music and dropping an album?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Dude, have you guys heard of that before I dropped in the group chat?
I saw that.
I saw he did
Was
it.
this dog?
Wait,
I
hold
saw
on.
he
That's
did
the
it.
Denzel
Dropped
Washington,
the mixtape.
Denzel Valentine.
Denzel Washington.
Oh, I meant to say
You got
Valentine.
game
Listen. I meant to say Valentine. But you get
Where returns.
for some reason it didn't.
What's it called? The 517 made me?
Dude.
He,
Hey, shout out. Hey, go listen to that on Spotify, bro. All the viewers out there. Give him a chance.
man's gonna be Damian Lillard 2.0 with music.
I bet you the day after he dropped it in practice, freaking Billy Donovan made him run like 20 suicides.
They damn
While
near cut.
listening to it.
Oh my god, dude.
That'd be so depressing.
517 made
Maybe you
me.
guys may like it. Maybe you guys may not like it. Hano kind of mentioned this of us getting a big man. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of Lowry in our system anymore. So if we sign and trade him and get a player like John Collins, how would you guys feel about that? Because I know John Collins then signed an extension with Atlanta as well.
I would love John Collins on the
If we
move.
flip-flop Lowry and John Collins, how would you guys think that would work for both sides?
That's fine. It would work well for us, but I'm not ready to give up on Lowry.
But I mean, John Collins is a really good young big man.
It's really tough. It's because I am ready to give up, but at the same time, I'm not. Because Lowry shows greatness at some points. It's just that he needs to get that stick out of his ass. And he just hasn't. There's like sometimes he'll play fine, and then sometimes it's like he forgot what basketball was.
I really like Larry, but if you have the opportunity to get John Collins for him, you do that any day of the week.
Yeah.
So I'd be cool if they kept Larry because I do think he's good. I do think he's a good player. But John Collins is John Collins.
I
He's
agree.
also true.
I think he's on a downer just because of Capella too. I think he'd be better this year if it wasn't for Capella.
Yeah, but he'll have Vooch.
That's true, but he's not a big rebounder compared to Capella. Capella's snagging all the rebounds.
I don't know.
Yeah, dude, Capella's long ass arms.
All right, the next we'll be talking about our final trade. Then we'll get into our buyouts in those situations, which will be the Clippers getting Rajon Rondo and the Hawks getting Lou Will and 2 second-round picks.
Lemon pepper, baby.
Lemon pepper, yes.
Did you guys see B-Dub's tweet that they would give him some free wings?
I didn't know.
Oh my god, they tweeted like free lemon pepper wings on us when you come to Atlanta. God,
Not going to B-Dubs for wings. He's going to the strip club, man.
you guys heard he was considering retiring?
Yeah.
He said that, like he said, if I get traded, I'm done.
I think if he got traded to Memphis, he'd retire.
But he's back home.
Orlando.
So I don't know what he's doing here.
Yeah.
I kind of hope he stays because Lou Will is a legend. So
No, he said he'll play.
I just feel bad because he's like, I'm so tired of bouncing around teams, and he was so happy when he finally signed a long term with the Clippers. And then I kind of called it when that happened. I was like, yeah, he's gonna get traded at the end of that, without a doubt. But at least he's getting traded to his hometown.
do you think that's the Clips took a dub here, or didn't they give him a little bit too much?
What you say, Mo?
Do you think the Clips took a dub here, or did they overpay here?
It's a dub.
I think it's a dub.
It's a dub.
You're getting
They got
well,
that
Rondo, that's true.
facilitator. And they got that leader now.
And he knows the Lakers system.
Exactly. So Clippers are made to beat the Lakers. That's like the point. They assembled that team to beat LA.
I mean,
A
you
lot
could
of-
say the same thing for Brooklyn.
You could say the
They're
same
building a
thing
team
for
to
Bulls.
beat the Lakers.
Like literally, they match up perfectly with LA before they signed Drummond.
I feel like Drummond's a bit overhyped. He's like,
Agree.
Thank you.
You're just saying that because he left the team.
No, dude,
No.
he'll get 20 points, 16 rebounds, and you still lose by 35 points.
But now we get to see
You're on
that.
the Cavs. That's why you still lose by
I'm just
35
saying,
he
man.
was
points.
on the Pistons. Like, if
I'm
he
for
was
it,
an
bro.
All-Star that season on a losing record. I'm pretty sure.
He was on a playoff Pistons team, bro.
Like, sure, you can get 17 and 15 a game, but what the hell is that going to translate to?
He's shooting 43% from the field as a center.
Jesus Christ.
That's also
Spark the fuse in heaven right there.
I don't want to talk about Drummond. Move on.
No, I want to talk about Drummond, so I'm sorry, Drummond. Since the Lakers have Drummond, where do you guys think they fall in the playoffs, especially with
they're winning the chip.
AD's injury and LeBron's injury? What seed?
Oh,
What?
and the
What seed are they going to fall to?
Dude, that's a tough one. Because they got a hard schedule coming up.
They have a hard schedule. They don't have two of their best players, of course.
I think
They're losing all the games, most likely. I think.
they're from the third or fourth seed.
They're the third. They're the
They're
fourth
already-
seed right
they're
now. I
already
think they're
in
going to
the
go
first,
up.
I'm pretty sure.
No, I said third or fourth seed.
Yeah, they're at the fourth seed right now.
Are you serious? Damn.
Yeah.
I really think they're going to drop.
Come
because
on,
the
hey.
West is so tight.
I thought they were at third seed. Last time we recorded that they were at third seed. So I thought they were still there.
I think
No,
I
it's
think
'cause
they're
the-
coming now.
Yeah, it's because the West is so close together. It's like a sandwich.
In my opinion, I think they're going to fall to either 6 or 7.
Ooh,
Here's the thing. They could fall that low, but it won't matter. If
That is true.
come playoff time, they're healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Because it does matter. If you fall to 6 and 7 by the time it's playoffs, their first round matchup is going to be a really good team, whether it be Utah, Phoenix, Denver. And that first round matchup is going to be tough, especially with LeBron and AD coming back from a lingering injury. That's going to be a first tough matchup. And then the second team, that's going to be just as good.
I
I'm
think
taking the
That
Lakers.
is true.
I think if once they guarantee the playoff spot, you shut down LeBron and AD for the rest of this regular season. That's my personal opinion.
We're going to get fined hella, but I mean,
Yeah, they're going to
Telling you,
get fined a
man,
shit ton.
I'm telling you, I think Anthony Davis is ready to play, but they're just being so cautious with him.
Yeah,
And I don't blame him. I think Anthony Davis is healthy right now. And if it really gets to where the Lakers fall to like a 7 seed within the next week or two, they're probably going to bring him back because they're going to need to go back up in the standings. Or maybe LeBron just miraculously recovered. They'll bring him back. You know?
the playoff starts in May, right?
what was that?
The playoffs start in the beginning of May, right?
Yes.
If the Lakers don't drop too much, I don't think LeBron's playing for the rest of the season, regular season. That's my personal opinion.
I think it's more likely he comes back than Anthony Davis.
I think so too.
I think one of the two stars are getting shut down for one of the rest of the
'Cause
season.
he
I don't
has
think
an
both are playing.
he has an ankle sprain. What Anthony Davis injured could lead to something more serious. But you see a lot more people recover perfectly fine from an ankle sprain than from what Anthony Davis has. So if you re-aggravate what he has at the moment, that's dangerous.
That's true.
Especially since it's LeBron. Like he's had two injuries that's kept him out for spans of time. So I think he's a more safe risk to take to come back rather than AD, who's been proven he's injury prone, you know?
Isn't that crazy? LeBron's 36, and we're saying this dude's safe from injuries. He's 36, and
That's 'cause he
80.
was
What,
breastfed.
28?
You see that dude?
That's insane. LeBron's a monster, man.
He really is.
There was like steroids in that breast milk that he was taking, dude.
Fuck it, dude.
Our next buy we're going to be talking about is Lamarcus Aldridge signing with the Brooklyn Nets, along with, Blake Griffin, which did happen a couple of days ago, but we didn't get into that too much. And Blake Griffin caught an alley-oop, man. He dunked twice, I believe.
Dude, I love that. No, you can go. My bad.
Piston fans should be fucking pissed, bro.
They really should. He really should.
Blake was playing dead to get out of Detroit, Oh my god! But dude, the Lamarcus Aldridge thing really surprised me. I swear he was going to Miami. Like
I
I
thought he was going to Miami too. Because
Yeah,
if he went
my-
to Miami, then I said instant conference finals.
just all. It's so weird.
Be honest.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go
Ed.
ahead. I'll say it's gonna be so weird seeing that starting five on the court together.
I low key like that starting five, but I feel like it's gonna be interesting.
I don't really like this might sound weird, but I don't think Lamarcus Aldridge is really gonna make a big difference. Like I don't think he's that like impactful to put Brooklyn over the top.
He's not the difference maker, but he will, be an impact in my opinion.
Like, yeah, obviously he'll have an impact, but I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
really rate. Obviously, Brooklyn, if they had the opportunity to sign him, I'd 100% get him whenever I could, but I just don't think he's that huge of a impact for their chances. I think
definitely
they'd still be the
Yeah,
favorites no matter what.
you get in that.
I think
I feel
they're
like he's more so an
upgrade.
offensive decoy.
I
Yeah.
feel like they're more of an upgrade over what they returned to DeAndre Jordan at center. Way more of an upgrade, but it's not much of a difference. That's easy.
I feel like it takes a lot of playing time from Nick Claxton, who's been really been
I agree.
out as of late.
What do you think was a bit of like, if they could only take one, if you're Brooklyn, who would you take, Blake or LA?
Blake,
Like,
100%.
I agree.
I feel like
The fact
Blake's.
they got both.
Sorry,
I just said the fact they got both is just crazy.
It is crazy. It's
I
wild.
feel like Blake has a lot more to take. Like maybe like five, like 4 or 5 years. I think LA's done after 2.
That's fair.
being honest, if the Sixers don't win, I probably want the Nets to win just because I want Lamarcus Aldridge to get a ring.
All 5 of them just get a ring instantly. It's crazy.
Any more buyouts you want to talk about, boys? Like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing?
Is that the last buyout? Or
That was the last buyout. You guys have anything else to say about trades? Anything else you guys want to bring up on the
Oh.
trade?
5.
quick question, Crab. What do you guys as winners and losers of the trade deadline? Like buyouts and everything. Who you
All
guys
right.
on it?
You can only pick one though.
Oh, only pick one? Okay. All right.
Bulls.
All right. I got my winner.
I think the winner here is probably, in my opinion, the Bulls. I feel like you got too many assets. You guys kind of restarted, but also took yourself to a new level here. I think you're like a playoff lock or a real playoff contender now. Like Ed said earlier, you guys made yourself a bigger market, especially for free agents with 2 All-Stars. Chicago should be pulling in these free agents. That's a big dub for them. And my biggest dub, definitely the Rockets, 100%.
100% agree with Mo.
I feel like the Rockets, everyone can agree in unison that they're pretty dog shit.
I'm gonna go a different approach on the winner side because most definitely they're losers. The Rockets, they just, that was terrible.
Why are you
But-
winning?
But I think my winner here is gonna be the team they traded with, Miami. I think if Oladipo resigns, Miami 100% wins. My opinion.
I agree.
If he doesn't resign, then obviously they still won in the trade, but not overall on the deadline. But I'm gonna go Miami.
I have 4 winners and 2 losers.
So all the trades.
Now,
What?
okay,
Pick
I have
one,
to-
bro.
okay, I'll pick 2.
Then 1. He said.
Oh, what's a one? All right, I'll pick one. I think either the Bulls or Miami won it.
That's 2.
Or Bulls. Shit. So Bulls. Okay, all right. I think the Bulls won it overall. They got a lot of assets and they made a bunch of low key moves, which I liked a lot. And I think there's like a couple, like 1 or 2 more pieces away from seriously contending with the Bucks and etc. That's after a couple of years. The losers, I'm gonna go a different approach. I'm gonna say the Celtics lost because the Celtics made dog water trades. Like I just don't like what they did. Like they rather have done nothing and they would have done more. They would have done better off than what they were beforehand.
Okay, fair enough. All right, is that all for trade talk, boys? Or
I believe so.
All right, Mo, what's next, man?
We're going to do our last segment of the show, our daily pick'ems. You guys know how this goes. We had our picks taken in, and this is what the records are looking like. Right now, in first place is a 3-way tie between me, David, and Hanuk, all at 11 and 8. And right behind us is Evan, who is 9 and 10. And right behind him is Ed, going 8 and 11. But Ed, this does not include your 1-game pick. So with your
I don't know.
you two are all tied at 9 and 10.
I'm saying
So
if
this
it's
is
them
going to be
two,
a very, very close month.
Oh no.
We
if
have
it's them two, 1v1.
3 more games left in this month. So you guys really have to make this count. And we also have to make this count. We have to get some of these right, boys, just to be safe.
Dude, oh my god, Jesus.
This is going to be
All
tough.
All right.
So game number 1, got to start off with the hard one. Milwaukee versus the Clippers.
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
I'm going to go Milwaukee.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Milwaukee as well.
Yeah, sure.
You're going Milwaukee, Ed?
Yeah, I
What?
have to.
I'll take the Clippers. I'll go with the Clippers. I feel like the Clippers will pull it.
I
All
hope.
right.
I hope Milwaukee wins now.
Yeah, I really hope Milwaukee wins now just because Mo's being stupid.
Okay. No, it doesn't matter. Our next game, Hornets versus the Wizards.
Hornets.
It's
Really?
Wizards.
No, wait. Go Wizards.
I'm gonna go Hornets.
I'm going Wizards. Ooh, this is gonna be the last game right now. This is gonna be the biggest difference maker. Heat versus Pacers.
Heat.
Heat.
What you think, Ed? What you think, Dave? You guys got the Heat?
Oh, it's really gonna come down to Charlotte. Oh shit.
Charlotte. If there's injuries, we can change. Come on.
Dude, you know what I saw on Instagram today? I was just scrolling through my feed and I saw like a Russell Westbrook injury thing, and I actually thought it was real until I saw the account. It said Russell Westbrook had genital warts.
Genital warts.
My God.
No, send me that account. On the follow.
Look, why do you want that account, Tom?
He runs it.
I run the Daniel Dice hate account. Sorry.
I know. God, Ed. Good luck, buddy, man.
Good luck, Kevin. God bless.
Most of the records, from what it seems, I think me, David, and Hanuk are looking to be safe. I think it might be Ed or Evan this week, or this month, I should say.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, you know.
Great observation.
Look at Sherlock Holmes over here.
I know. I
Look, man, it's only fair the guy who's won back-to-back months loses one now.
Of course.
It ain't happening.
might lose
Back-to-back, Ed.
You might lose one.
Take a seat in defeat, man.
As for the punishment, we do have some ideas floating around, but if you guys want to drop some down below in the comment section, that would be super helpful. I do have an idea which I want for these two. You know, we'll work on it, see what the group decides, but you know, we're still thinking, still going around the head. We're
Oh,
brainstorming.
I'm stressed, man. I'm stressed.
David, take us away.
All right. As always, we'd like to thank you all for listening to all of our shenanigans and all of Hanuk's terrible takes, as always.
Okay, Mr. Lonzo. Lonzo
We
Arsenal.
appreciate the support. Please continue to follow us on our socials. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. All the support means a lot. Be sure to like the video, like us on Spotify, subscribe. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you soon.
You guys.
Please.